Yo, what is up, guys, and welcome to Movie Review with the Crew. And the movies we're reviewing today is Malcolm and Marie. Okay, look. I have a question about Malcolm and Marie. Okay. What are 3 words that explain the movie in all? Okay, my 3 words are crazy in love.
Maybe like hate and love and confusion.
I'll say old, love, and toxic.
I don't know. I guess a big roller coaster.
I would say many mixed feelings.
All right. Okay, so here's my feeling on the movie. From a video production look, perfect. It was great. I loved it. I loved how at the beginning of the movie they mainly worked with a pan. Wait, was it? Is it a pan? Yeah. But where they're mainly focusing on going left to right. You know, hearing them talk about his movie, how it was so great and everything like that. And I really like that part. My whole thing about the movie in general is all that dude had to do was listen to her feelings. Honestly, like he really didn't have to say anything back. All he had to do was listen and understand, and he would understand that all she wanted was appreciation in the smallest of ways, even if it's just thank you. And you know, towards the end, she basically explained the small little words he could have just said instead of going rambling about hurting her feelings in any type of way, and he could have just said thank you. That was all. That's all he needed to say.
So I guess going off of that, how did the movie make you feel? Like, especially as you guys were, watching them go back and forth and argue and stuff, like, did you think there was gonna be who did you think was gonna win?
I didn't even know how it was going to end. It was just like, they just kept going back and forth. I would have thought it was over. I was like, what's the name came up, just started saying something else. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, I agree. They were just going back and forth, so I didn't know when it was going to end.
I think between the movie and me watching it from both of their perspectives, trying to understand both of their perspectives and why they were arguing in the first place. So it was kind of like I was kind of like switching sides. It was like, okay, I understand her feelings. Okay, I get where he's coming from. That he's doing this. Okay, I get that. Or she's doing this. I get that. You know, and yeah, I feel like throughout the movie, I was really switching sides, and it was like I had to just continue watching to really understand what was the whole point of the whole arguing, them going back and forth, you know, loving on each other, and then going back to arguing again. And that's why I chose the 3 words crazy in love, because at the end of the movie, no matter what, even that was probably one of their worst arguments, they still stuck by each other no matter what. He was able to understand her feelings and, you know, where she was coming from. She was able to understand his feelings and where he was coming from and why he feels a certain type of way in the end.
That made me think of like the scene when they're arguing. Well, they're arguing the whole movie, but so they're arguing and she's like, why didn't you cast me in the thing? I also, side note, I thought that was really cool the way that they developed it, so that in the beginning you don't know, you just think that like, they went to a movie night, whatever, and then you start learning more about how the film came about. So I just thought that was really like well done. But my favorite scene probably was when she was acting out the part, and he thought that she had like, not been clean the whole time maybe, and like she had the knife, and that was crazy. I was like, That was crazy. And then she stopped acting. I was like, wow.
It was so cold. It threw me off for a second. I was like, oh wow, maybe she is crazy. Maybe she's just crazy. Like what if? Maybe she's just crazy. And
But
then when she
it's like
like
you
when
know
she
she was
like
gonna kill herself though.
yeah. And then when she like stopped stopped acting and stuff, I was like, oh, that was just a joke. Wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Like her acting was on point, even though she's a really good actor in the movie. Like her acting in that certain point was on point.
What are some other scenes that you guys like really hit for you?
I guess I would say the bathtub scene where where she was in the bath, and then it went from her smiling to her lips like quivering and stuff like that, like her feeling his words, and it's just like, dang, you really do feel like that. Like it went that's I don't know. It was crazy though.
It really was. So basically, Zendaya was like hands down amazing in her acting.
Especially on the part where she went outside and I thought she ran away and he went out looking for her and I thought she done dipped on him. I was like, I thought a killer was gonna come in and kill him or something like that. I thought it was gonna turn into a horror movie or something like that.
Would you be in a relationship like this?
Definitely.
Most likely, no.
I'm just saying. I'll take it. Okay, my explanation on mine. I would take it because in the end, I'd probably take it different, like do things differently than he did. But I would take the arguing. That's it's kind of like the, not really, but in a way, it's kind of like the relationship I'm in. So we've done a lot of arguing, we've done a lot of back and forth or whatever, but still in the end we come to understand one another, and then we continue pushing forward for what we have going on. And because of, in the movie, like he was there for her in ways she was there for him, just like in my relationship she was there for me as I was there for her. But then we continue pushing, no matter what, no matter the argument, no matter the topic, unless, because the arguing has never been a breakup type situation. So it's never been a situation that you would just break up over, like someone cheating or something like that. But in the movie, that did happen but sometimes you could also be blinded by love, and it's just like, I forgive you. You still forgive that person anyway. I would take that over a relationship that you don't know that's gonna work at all. Sometimes people don't understand, like, want to learn a person first, then get into a relationship. A lot of people, I've heard a lot of things that a lot of people just get straight into a relationship, like, oh, I like you, let's get into a relationship. And then from there, you end up learning the person, and then it can go left from there. I'd rather not take a chance over love that I know will last forever because of based off the people we are.
That was so beautiful.
Right. Jade done poured his heart out. But like at least in their arguments, I know a lot of couples arguing junk, but at least in their arguments they'll able to hear each other's sides out. Most couples don't do that. They'll just argue and then they start fighting.
Basically, I understand where Johnny's coming from. You could argue and then, come up in the end, all good, everything's okay. But at the same time, in my opinion, I feel like this is just not a good relationship. Because if you continue doing that over and over and over, at some point you're just not gonna want to argue anymore, and you're just not gonna care, and you're just gonna end up leaving. You're gonna go.
I I agree with you, Julius. That because that's happened before, and I definitely feel you on that. It could become too much, and it's just like, oh, we argue. Probably like, I'd make guess like, oh, on an everyday basis we argue, and that's annoying, and it's frustrating. It's nothing. We're not getting anything out of this. It's just arguing, continuous arguing, making up. Next day we argue. I definitely get that. It's also based off the person you're working with, and you guys is, I feel like is definitely based off you guys' past together. Like how long have you guys known each other, or what do you know about the other person?
All right, so what out of 10 would you guys give this movie?
I give it like an 8. But if you're looking for relationship advice, I don't think you should be watching.
I give it an 8 as well.
Yeah, I would give this an 8. Yeah.
Based off how I felt within the movie, I'm gonna give it a 10. Cause first off, the cinematography was great. The whole production on it and how it worked within one place was great. Storyline was really good. I feel like it was also drawn out a bit because of the arguing, but once you got to the end, you basically understood the whole storyline of it. But in other people's eyes, I could definitely see how it could feel drawn out. But I definitely loved it because it was like more of like an engaging type of thing. So you like continued watching to try to understand more and more. Like, oh, what is this movie about? Because you don't really completely understand at first.
I definitely agree. I'm gonna give it a 10 as well. Because I feel like everything just like music and the black and white, I felt like was so nice, and just everything came together really nicely. I loved it.
The only reason why I gave it an 8 because I would give it up those 2 extra ratings, but I didn't like how it was like always they was in that one house. I wish they could have like expanded it out somewhere, but you can kind of tell that the budget for the movie was kind of low, so they was in that one house. But the camera shots and everything and the music stuff was nice. And I like how they had that black and white everything out throughout the whole movie. That's different.
And also, you got to think about it because they did this over like the pandemic when nobody was able to really shoot anything. So the fact that they were even able to like pull that off is crazy. Well, thank you guys for watching Movie Review with the Crew. Malcolm and Marie. Bye.